A very good morning and welcome to the Saturday show. As joining me as well myself as Karl and Stephan. Good morning, Stephan. How you
Morning,
doing?
Karl. Morning, everyone.
Absolutely, yeah. It's an interesting day today because we've got the FA Cup and also there's some of the EFL games we'll discuss, and also the Scottish Cup we'll talk about. So we will also be discussing about what's been going on at Spurs, how that also
Oh,
Thursday as well, and we will talk about the upcoming another Old Firm game retreat as well,
tomorrow.
the Scottish Cup as well too. So let's get the fixtures up for this weekend coming up as well. We've got 3 games coming up in the FA Cup today. We've got an early lunch kickoff coming in less than 45 minutes time between Arsenal and Arsenal away at Mansfield Town, then Chelsea they go away to Stephan's Wrexham, and
Come
then
on.
and then the big game later on tonight is Newcastle against Man City at 8 o'clock. One game in the Scottish Premiership, Dundee at home to Motherwell, and a couple of games in the Women's European Cup qualifiers, where actually Wales at home to Montenegro, while Northern Ireland at home to Turkey, and Republic of Ireland go away to Netherlands, and then in Group 3, England at home to Iceland at 12:30 later on today, and then 5 o'clock between Scotland against Luxembourg in Group 4 as well. And one game in the Scottish Cup tonight is Dunfermline Athletic against Aberdeen. And we've got 2 games in the Championship kicking off today: Blackburn against Portsmouth, and then it's an all top half affair between Hull City against Millwall. Bristol City being in a disappointment after getting knocked out the FA Cup by Port Vale. They're at home to Coventry City. Birmingham away to Charlton, while Derby against Sheffield Wednesday. It's a big game for Leicester City, with certainly in the bottom 3. They're away to Ipswich Town. Sheffield United home to West Brom, and Swansea City against Stoke City at 3 o'clock later today as well. And also in League One, couple of games in League One, 2 games in League One. Cardiff at the top of the table. They go against a team that's challenging for promotion, Lincoln City. It's an all Yorkshire derby affair between Huddersfield Town and Rotherham United. Barnsley at home to Exeter City. Blackpool at home, against Wigan Athletic. Wycombe Rangers away to Bolton. Bradford against Leyton Orient. Burton against Stevenage, and Luton Town against Reading. He's one match postponed between Peterborough and Port Vale because of Port Vale's participant in the FA Cup, as well as there's also Stockport County's game against Mansfield Town also due to Mansfield's participation in the FA Cup. So, and then one game in late game 3 o'clock, it is actually Plymouth Argyle against Doncaster Rovers, and then we got also Burton against Stevenage and Luton Town against Reading, and in League Two. All games kick off. 2 games in league in lunchtime kickoff. But Brom, who are doing well in the league, they're away to Grimsby Town. Salford City against Barnet. They're the 2 12:30 kickoff games. Well, I've got some key games at the bottom. Accrington against Cambridge United, Crewe Alexandra away to Bristol Rovers, Chester against Shrewsbury Town, Swindon away to Crawley, Gillingham against Fleetwood, Harrogate go down to Milton Keynes, and the bottom of the table, Newport County against Colchester United, Tranmere against Old Athletic, and Walsall against Notts County. One game in the 12th kickoff in the National League between Brackley Town, they go away to Boreham Wood. See here a game at 5:30, and we'll see Chris John messaging this morning that Karl against Southend United, which is a big game today. While in the early games, York home to Eastleigh, while also Rochdale against Boston United and Forest Green Rovers against Aldershot Town as well, and across in the lower leagues and the Scottish Championship as well. Key games as well. Johnson away at Green up Morton as well. While in League One, we've got to Kelty Hearts away to Alva Athletic as well. And in League Two, couple of games as well. Spartans are catching up now and trying to get promotion. They're away to Dumbarton today, with the second bottom side Dumbarton today, while Edinburgh City at home to Stranraer later today as well. And also look across Europe as well in the European leagues. La Liga tonight at 8 o'clock kickoff between Athletic Bilbao against Barcelona, while Athletic Madrid at home to Real Sociedad at 5:30. A couple of games in the German Bundesliga. Bayer Leverkusen going to Freiburg, and then a 5:30 kickoff between FC Cologne against Borussia Dortmund. Dortmund lost in the Klassiker last week at home against a very surging Hurricane and Bayern Munich, and then RB Leipzig against Augsburg at 4:30. A couple of games in Serie A. Juventus against Pisa later tonight as well, and Como go away to Calgary at 2 o'clock. And also in the League Earn, as well as the Division first, PSV at home to AZ Alkmaar at 7 o'clock. And then a couple of games at 8:05, Marseille go away to Toulouse in League Earn, and Auxerre against Strasbourg at 6 o'clock. And then going on to tomorrow's games, we've got 3 games in the FA Cup to discuss. Southampton, they go away to Fulham, while Port Vale home to Sunderland. It's interesting. Can Port Vale get to the quarterfinals? They haven't been for a long time, for over half a decade as well. Also, Leeds United gets Norwich City at 4:30. Then 2 games in the Scottish Cup. Stephan, we have got Rangers against Celtic at 1:00. That's going to be a big game as well, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
If it's anything like last weekend's game, it's going to be a big game.
Absolutely.
I'm calling it. I think Rangers are going to edge it tomorrow.
I think so as well too. I really do. And then we've got the one game at 7:30 between St Mirren against Paris in the quarterfinals, and then one game in the Championship, Q Prague against Middlesbrough at 4:30, and then one game in League One at AFC Wimbledon against Northampton Town as well, and a couple of games in the Spanish League, Villarreal against Elche, and then Valencia against Alves at 8:00. 2 games in the German Bundesliga. See here, Pauli gets Frankfurt and Union Berlin against Werder Bremen. But the big game is the Milan derby tomorrow, Stephan. AC Milan against Inter Milan as well. So we'll chat to Reece about that as well too, when he joins us shortly as well. And also in League 1 itself, Lyon against Paris FC tomorrow, which is a big game in League 1, 7:45 as well. And also one Monday night game in the FA Cup. It's an all-London derby affair between West Ham against Brentford at 7:30, and then a couple of games across Europe as well between Espanyol Oviedo and Lazio home to Sassuolo as well. So they are all the fixtures for this weekend as well. So Stephan, let's talk about some of the results earlier this week regarding the Premier League midweek games as well. So
we can always start in one place.
Yeah, we do. We have to start one place, which is on Thursday night at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. 5 defeats in a row for Spurs, as they lost to Crystal Palace 3-1. Dominic Solanke scored the first goal after the couple of goals was offside for Manasseh for Crystal Palace. And then also 4 minutes later, Stephan, the red card for Mickey van der Ven. Did he really need it to bring? He didn't need that.
No.
And that was a turning point as well, because I think that game was lost, especially as well. Van der Ven was pulling down, pulling down Sarr, and even misreading the flight of the ball. But do you think even Vaquero had it covered? The goalkeeper had it covered. And now Tottenham lost another key player. Yes, Christian Romero is coming back from his 4-match ban, but they've lost another player again. And also, the fans left before half-time.
I think there's something really toxic going on at Tottenham just now. I can't put my finger on it, but there's something toxic happening at that football club. Christian Romero came out at the end of the transfer window. He said the transfer window was disrespectful to the fans and disgusting for the team because we didn't bring in the players that we wanted or could have brought in.
And then bring in James Wilson.
I know, from Hearts, to sign up for the under-21s, may I add, the under-21 squad, not the full squad, the under-21 squad. Then, after that, a few weeks after that, Frank gets sacked. We bring in Igor Tudor, who's had 3 games in the dugout, lost all 3, and they're now considering sacking him after, potentially 4 games in charge.
Yeah.
Which, if you bring a manager in that's got the European pedigree, let's say, of Igor Tudor, he's managed in Serie A, I think he's managed in a few other leagues around Europe.
Cross-France League as well. Yep, yeah.
And if you've got somebody with the pedigree of him, surely to guide you to safety, you would pretty much think that that's not a safe bet, but a safe pair of hands to get you through this sort of difficult spell. Then you can re-go again in the summer. But no, it's not worked out like that at all. I mean, if there's talk about sacking him after 3 games in charge, why, not being funny, but why even bring him in the first place? It's like they've rushed this appointment so we could have a manager in the dugout with a respectable name rather than just give it to your under 21s or under 18 coach, whatever. And I think, morning Reece, and I think Mickey Van der Ven sending off was just frustration boiling over for Mickey Van der Ven. If I'm
Yeah,
being totally honest, I think it was just out of frustration more than anything else because he didn't need to bring him down at all.
no, absolutely not. I'm going to play the short video that I put up after the game on Thursday night because it was dabbing what I said.
Spurs are in trouble.
Cannot believe what I'm going to say, but Tottenham Hotspur are in trouble. They are in deep, deep trouble. You cannot have that performance, against a Crystal Palace side that's going to be losing their manager at the end of the season. It's so baffling. I never thought Spurs would be in the relegation dogfight. Never in my lifetime. And look at where they are now. They are actually really looking in serious trouble. It seems like the players have just given up the fight completely. And I wouldn't be surprised, like I said from David Horne, Stephan Athletic, that they are good. They'll have release clauses in there. If I was the Spurs manager right now, I would sell the whole squad altogether. I really would.
Spurs are in trouble.
Cannot believe what.
Yeah, that just says it all completely.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be Spurs versus Cardiff City, Lincoln City, Norwich City next season. I'm sorry, but I really do think Spurs are going to go down. And if they go down, all your players like Vicario, Romero, they all have clauses in the contract to be let go or pushed out the door, whatever way you want to say it.
Yeah,
But next season's Spurs squad is going to be very, very different to the one you see now. Very, even with the parachute payments, 90% of the Spurs team is not going to want to play in the EFL Championship. Let's be honest.
no, I'm going to say this. So David obviously did reveal something from the Athletic earlier this week. Before Daniel Levy left, he actually put clauses in every single, most of the majority of the squad's contract that there will be a 50% wage decrease if they get relegated, and also they do have release clauses. All that he put this in place because of the scenario before he got the sack. That just says it all completely. That Daniel Levy knew something because before he got the chop himself, he had to put this measure in place.
Yeah.
And you just can't believe how everything. I'll get Reece's point as well shortly, but for me, it's such. It's what Andrew's been saying. Andrew was saying this from last season when he was on the overlap last week of what the club is, and I think the problem is at the moment as well with when you're bringing a manager that's never managed in the Premier League, where you could have done something what Celtic did, bringing someone like a Martin O'Neill, you could have brought a Harry Redknapp in,
Yeah, exactly.
or even Tim Sherwood in, because Tim Sherwood's got the better record than the Premier League managers altogether.
A safe pair of hands to guide the club through with Jackie Spell is what we need. And Karl, what's Spurs next six?
Well, looking at the next six, Stephan, it's not looking good. Especially they got the Champions League against Atletico Madrid coming up next week.
Yeah, minus those two games, what's their next Premier League set?
They're home against Liverpool on the 15th of March, and then
They lose that.
following Sunday they got Nottingham Forest at home.
They lose that.
And then away to Sunderland, and then home to Brighton, and then way to Wolves, and then the penalty game. And then the 2nd of May, the way to Aston Villa.
It's not looking pretty.
No, it's not looking pretty at all.
Because they'll definitely get beat by Liverpool. I wouldn't be surprised if Nottingham Forest come to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and do a Crystal Palace.
Well, I think they beat them this season. I think Spurs go away to Forest.
Well, even if, regardless of where it is,
It is regardless now. Yeah, regardless where it is now. You're right.
Forest are going to win that. I could see Wolves actually doing something.
Yeah.
Too.
Well, yeah, no, you're right. Spurs at home to Forest on this match, and I think I could not surprised if Forest get a result away. Especially where Tottenham's been playing. What do they do? I don't know. I think it's too late for them to sack a manager at this point in time.
Yep. Ever since Son and Kane left, that's when things started to go wrong for me.
Yeah.
When they sold two of the best players that practically lived in each other's pockets on and off the pitch. If you sell two of your best assets, things are going to go wrong. And obviously, in the managerial hot seat, things haven't gone much better. And I'm not fearful. It's actually laughable that a club like Tottenham Hotspur, with all the history, all the prestige they've got, it's laughable that they are in this position and could be staring down the bat of being on the EFL highlights programme next season and not match of the day.
Yeah, exactly.
You think of all the sponsorship deals as well. They all go out the window too. Your Nike, your Adidas, your New Balance, whoever we're sponsored by, they'll all go out the window as well.
Yeah, exactly. Reece, good morning to you. Is there anything to say about Spurs? Because I don't know what your reaction is, because the way of Thursday night, you could tell it was going to be one of those nights where the crowd was in silence, and they all for the first time, not majority of fans came back in the game for half time. They all went home. It just give yourself a reaction on this one.
His face is all really.
Yeah.
Oh, now he's doing the Undertaker motion.
Yeah, no, that's dead. They're dead.
They're dead.
Spurs are dead. I don't think I can say any more than that. Spurs are dead.
If by some minor absolute collapse from the other teams around them and they manage to survive, I don't know how we're going to do it, but just say we managed to survive. This will be the greatest Houdini escape act. Take away your Sunderlands in 2016, take away your Wiggins. This will be the greatest escape act ever in Premier League history if it's to be pulled off, which it's not going to be, but if it is, it's the greatest one in history.
No. Because Palace still exists at 40 points.
Yeah. He's right.
It'll always be Palace. Like, I'm just baffled by Tottenham. Like, what more can you even think? What more can you say?
And you're right, Karl. If you do that Igor Tudor, who are you going to bring in for the last 6-7 games of the season?
Harry Redknapp after Cheltenham.
What
Exactly.
are they going to do, though? What are they actually going to do? There is nothing they can do.
Well,
sacking Tudor isn't the answer either. Like,
no.
Although, to be fair, he should also not be playing his back three system when he's not got the bloody players for it.
Exactly. And do you know what? I'm looking at this possible Spurs team in the Championship next season, because you're not going to believe this. Because I'm putting it on the screen right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
You know what's actually funny? That's actually a really good team.
Mikey Moore's in there.
Yeah, they wish.
Exactly. Oh,
If
there's another alternative.
Right. Good have to enlarge the screen here, lads. Sorry.
I know.
Um,
I will zoom in for you to make it more easier. So let's get this.
if one of those two alternatives is the Spurs team next season,
they still win the championship.
probably more so with the first alternate squad. With this one here, I could see them romping the championship.
I'll go one further. I doubt Mikey Moore will be in their squad. I think Rangers will capitalise and sign him.
Yeah, you really
apart from
hope
that-
he's there.
Yeah.
Well,
But you look at that first lineup. That first lineup breaks the championship points record.
Yeah, it does completely. I can see a certain someone coming back home because I feel like we need him back, and he might be good in that midfield, especially if Tanaka goes.
Really? Do you think so?
I would bring Archie Gray back.
I was just going to say, do you think they'll go back to it? Is there something in his clause? In his, transfer clause? No.
No,
No.
listen. No, for what David also said, a majority of the squad has. For what I have been told, they say the names, but they have said the majority of the squad has. I know Van der Ven has one. I have a feeling Christian Romero has one. I'm going to say Solanke does as well because, in a way, even
It'll
though
be
he's not
Richarlison.
Richarlison as well. I'm pretty much. I can guarantee the Spurs team has got a release clause, and it's still out of those. They're the prime suspects.
If R.G. Gray has one, do you think we'd still have first refusal to bring him back?
No.
Hell yeah! Listen, well, no, you're right. In my mind, yes, but I know no. But you never know. But because, like I said, it's a hard one. What you know, if Archie Gray is probably because with his utility play, because he can play right back, but playing him left back makes no sense. But you never know with Leeds. But like what Reece said, there's a chance it might not happen. But you never know because, as I said, how much did this Spurs pay for him? About 30 million altogether because we got
Something
Joe
like that,
Rogan. Yeah.
I think overall though, like if Tottenham do go down, I would start.
When? Let's rephrase it. See, when Tottenham go down?
Weird enough, I still think they survive.
Yep. You just said they were dead. You just done the Undertaker motion. They're dead. So
That doesn't mean they get.
dead. They go down.
Just because I said they're dead doesn't mean they're getting relegated.
Well,
He did send a relegation pass. So he's got
I think though if they stay up, I would go with that first lineup though, as the actual main 11 for Tottenham next season. Refresh.
Well, I can tell you. So I know. So Pedro Pro will have a release clause in his contract. So will
Richarlison.
Travis Simmons will be Mateus Tell.
Udogie.
Kulusevski as well. And Conor Gallagher.
I think Kulusevski and Gallagher will stay.
I just wish we've seen a player like Conor Gallagher's quality playing in the championship. You know.
Yeah. It'll be weird seeing a team of Tottenham's quality playing in the championship. What are you on about?
See if they do get relegated though and those players jump ship, they should be banned from football.
Yeah.
Like I stand by that. Like if a club pays big money to bring you in and then you just bail out on them, you shouldn't be allowed. If the club's in liquidation or situation like that, then absolutely. But if they're or administration, but if they're generally in financially good stead, they're just utter crap at football and they get relegated.
Well, you know what? I'm going to say something about Archie Gray. I'm going to tell you this, and I think if he won't go to Leeds, and I'm probably now thinking about this carefully as I've been reading, but a certain team in Germany.
I doubt Bayern Munich, but Borussia Dortmund is who I think you're thinking of.
No, I was thinking
Yeah.
more Bayern Munich.
Where is he fan at Bayern?
That's what I was trying to think as well. Where does he fit in Bayern? Because I'm just thinking we're looking at the Bayern squad.
I mean, their midfield is too strong, and they're losing Goretzka in the summer anyway.
What?
Yeah, exactly. Gretz is the biggest couch he gets going in the summer. So
What?
Right.
What about going to Serie A like most?
no, I
No.
think no, they won't. They're not with his. They're not for him. It's a bit difficult with that one. You can say Serie A. Yeah, I was watching a clip earlier this week from the long player from Jordan. Serie A clubs have really struggled because that's why they really struggle because they have to sell players to make a profit, and they will struggle to keep the buy actually great, and then struggle to keep him in the long run. I just don't know. I just don't know what to say. Like it's like what Reece said. It's just like I said. He's right about Spurs might not get relegated, but if they do, it's just something. It's just toxic there that is so been running in that club for so long. You moved to £1 billion stadium. You got you got best training facilities as well. What Yes, you bought these players. You're on a reduced ratio, and even Gareth Bale was saying this as well this week on the overlap, talking about what's with Spurs of the way they've been run, and he was saying pretty much the one thing is because the way structure is not attracted to the players that is not coming to that club.
It's just a toxic situation. Unless something changes drastically over the next season, 2-3 seasons, I feel for Tottenham. Because say we got relegated to the Championship, what is their current transfer budget now, and what would it be in the Championship?
So when Spurs, I think Spurs spent, I'm trying to get their transfer, how much did they spent this season as well, because I think they're in that top 6 of how much they spent. See here, I'll just get that squad up as well. So I think they spent more than at least about 150 million at least, because they did try to they were trying to spend trying to get bloody Semeno and bloody that didn't work. Eze didn't come and Bremer didn't come. Yeah, looking at the transfer, they spent nearly over 200 million.
Now, do you think what a Championship club spends in a transfer window?
The thing is, though, is they could just go and splash the big money in the Championship again, and nobody can touch them
and break the records, and that the record will never be broken again. Yeah. I don't know. It's baffling. It really is. But on the other hand, you have to give Crystal Palace a performance, and Strand Larson looking back to his own best.
Yeah.
Which I think a lot of people criticised in the way he's been performing at Wolves this season. But the last 6 he's come in, he's been a difference maker in that Palace squad. Despite and I think they're more comfortable not being in a relegation battle now. I think they're more than okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be the first to hold my hands up because I said on our transfer deadline day show that he wasn't a £50 million player, but he started to repay that in droves. So maybe we were right to pay over the odds to get him because to be working for Palace at this present moment in time. And the way Glasner was celebrating every goal, you wouldn't think that he was a manager that's going to be leaving at the end of the season either.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true as well. Really is true as well. Look at the other results. You guys, You lost to Newcastle for a worldie, for a player that won the Man United Skills School years ago, Osula, to score the winner. Just shows you should have kept a player like that in your team.
There we go. He deserved.
Yeah. I mean, there's always going to be bumps in the road when you're a football team, so take this one on the chin, move on. Simple.
It's not an overreaction, but it proves that Michael Carrick doesn't deserve the Man United job.
There was a lot of hype that was talked about earlier this week before that result, and I think it's now, yeah.
Yeah. And if they give him the job, fucking idiots.
Yeah, absolutely as well. Listen, you guys still remain fair, but like I said, there's a lot of teams are catching up to you now, including we'll look at the result at Villa Park when Chelsea beat Aston Villa 4-1, and it was a good. I know Levy Senior said earlier this week that João Pedro is probably considered as one of the world class strikers. Is he got a point with that, or is it a bit too premature?
No.
Far too premature. To call him world class is to say he's in the bracket of Harry Kane, who I don't rate, and he's in the bracket of Lewandowski and Mbappe and Haaland. Come on.
That comes all right when I'm pitching up.
Yeah, absolutely as well. Especially he scored a hat trick. And listen, I think, like I said, Aston Villa's form has just been poor recently. One win in the last 6 as well. Chelsea are only 3 points behind it. So is Liverpool, despite Liverpool lost to bloody Wolves 2-1. I said it to Doug. I think Slot's gone, and I said it to Doug as well. Slot's gone completely now. Yeah, I think why I know why Trevor Lawrence is waiting in the wings and just saying there's going to be an end of the season review, but we know that it doesn't all cost. But with Liverpool, significant with Liverpool, I think it's going to happen.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, absolutely as well. Other results as well during the past week as well in the bottom half. West Ham getting a win at Fulham. That was a huge win as well. And Somerville, he's now coming to his best run at the moment in the West Ham shirt after he moved from Leeds last season. He's now in his best, probably under Nuno as well.
Yeah, and I think I said a few weeks ago, I said that West Ham should be okay, and we're now proving that we're starting to pick up wins where we need to. We're getting the vital points where we need to, and I think we could easily overtake Tottenham if they haven't already in the league table. It's coming. It's coming. It is coming.
It's coming as well, and also not if I was getting a late draw at the against Man City.
I'm going to check that. I'll be back in a second.
Yeah, was getting a late draw as well at Nottingham Forest. That was another good draw for Nottingham Forest to get a job in Man City when Man City should have won that game, but fair play to Forest with that one, getting a point with that one. And also, I don't know what you guys, if you watched the least Sunday the game, do you think we should have had a penalty when Stroud was grabbed? It was surprising that was not being called.
I didn't see it. I don't know.
I didn't see it either, Karl, to be honest.
Jeez. What you guys were doing this week if you've not seen it?
But I tell you something, though. I've just got the table up, and it's looking very tight. Wolves is on 16, Burnley's on 19, West Ham and Nottingham Forest are 28, and Tottenham's 29.
Long live Derby.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Was I the only one watching all the Premier League games because it's on multi-view on TNT? Oh, bloody hell, I wasn't I? Jesus Christ. I had all 4 matches. Yes, I did do that. I kept out every single game, unlike most of you two stooges did it. So
I've been busy.
Yeah,
I'll let you off.
Me too, actually.
I do think, though, from what I've heard, though, it was supposed to be a penalty. Like I've been hearing a lot of conversation about it, but I just haven't seen it.
Yeah, there was a lot of coverage. There was that. I think so. It was. I don't know who. But the Abdul penalty. Yeah, I can understand that. Because he did double handball it. The first one was accidental, but the second one, the follow through was just. Yeah. But I think it was. I don't know if it was Trey Hume was marking or Ballard was marking Stroy and just right from true Atwell blatantly did not even. Yeah.
I tell you, Karl, I saw on Mr. Bauer's YouTube channel, I saw his video, I saw his reaction to reaching the 40 points, and he nearly fell off his chair.
They've been in the top half of the league like pretty much all season. They're celebrating 40 points. Embarrassing.
Well, it is, but you remember, Sunderland have been away from the Premier League
Nearly 10 years.
What I'm saying is like they've been in the top half of the league pretty much all season. To celebrate 40 points to me is embarrassing. When they've actually done brilliant all season, they should be like 40 points is nothing. The same for more.
Well, I understand that.
But what you're saying, but 40 points is safety for them.
Yeah, for a promoted club.
Yeah, of course. I just think when you look at it, if they'd still been lower than mid-table and they got to 40 points to survive, I'd be like, you know what, understandable. But they've been in the top 10 basically all season. Like, once you get into the top 10, you stay in the top 10 of the 20 teams. Quite frankly, 40 points shouldn't even be a thought to you. If you're 12th and below, then yeah, 40 points. But when you're higher than that, 40 points should be like, it's nothing.
Well, yeah.
Good morning, Doug, my man. Yeah, I think Spurs are going to.
Yeah, well, he's a thing. He's got a point, Reece. He might have a good point. Yes, 40 points might be overrated, but it may be for them to finish above Newcastle is so more important.
Yeah, exactly. Like that should be the goal.
I think that the goal was to get to 40 points before whatever. That's fair. But I think the goal now, because what's happened at Newcastle is now like that's the thing because they got
I reckon they'll finish above Newcastle easily. I really do.
Oh, they will. Oh, they definitely will. Newcastle are absolutely dreadful.
Well, they have got Newcastle in after next weekend actually. So in the Tyway derby at St James's,
I think it'll be a draw.
I do as well. Yeah, I do as well. Obviously the results as well. What you guys have not been watching, then bloody hell. Okay, then I'll just get something else. So Arsenal winning at Brighton 1-0, but Fabian Hurtzler should focus on his own team than criticizing Arsenal's.
He's gone at the end of the season. I don't think he stays in the Brighton job.
Okay, then if he's gone, Reece, who would you bring into the Brighton job?
It's Brighton, I don't care.
Exactly. So I don't care who Brighton brings in.
I know you don't care, but just say who would you bring in?
I don't know. They're just not good in general.
We've seen them the peak of Brighton now coming is coming now, and it's just
Yeah, I don't know, and I don't care because Brighton are a pathetic football club anyway. Like they're pathetic with how they operate. They're another club that don't deserve to be in the Premier League.
You heard it here from Reece's mouth, from the Weekly Steel Chair himself. So
I would like, honestly, clubs that just come and sell to buy players on the cheap, then sell them for big money just to not bother replacing them properly. For me, they should be excommunicated from the league. I don't agree with transfer process like that. I think it's just genuinely stupid.
Well, it's all changing from next season, I think, or the season after.
I don't think it will make a difference to them because they pretty much wanted to continue that philosophy if they brought in the anchoring rule. That was the. So I don't know. I think Brighton tries to Paul say the way it has to be. I liked it at the start, but it's now taking the piss.
Yeah, Premier League clubs should be acting like if they want to go and progress. Brighton just want to be like, oh, we got another £5 million gem. No, you can do better than that.
You're a Premier League club now. You're established. We've got to spend a bit more. Double,
Exactly.
It's the same thing I say with Palace as well.
Like, I generally hate that about these types of football clubs. It's what I hate about, despite the fact they're rivals. What I hate about Celtic.
The worst one for me.
Arsenal.
No, if you're talking clubs that come into the league and don't spend well, there's two. But the one that stands out for me is Norwich City, because when they kept coming up and going down and coming back up, when they were the yo-yo club.
No.
Their policy was ridiculous.
Use the real name. Use the real name.
Stripper club.
Stripper City.
Thank you. Yeah, Stripper City. Yeah.
But to be fair, though, it's not really their fault when their owner's cheaper than a nun on the Sabbath.
Well, I told Miss Dean Smith sold yeah, and at least I got 20 million from Josh Sargent. And at least they're now staying up in the championship. I got it for 20 million pounds. I'm like, and that's why I was saying to Reece as well. For 20 million pounds,
he's not even worth 5 million.
Exactly.
Whoever they signed him to, they have scammed that club.
Toronto
FC.
Toronto's always in the past. I've signed players for that kind of money.
Oh dear me, they're never winning the MLS Cup again.
No, exactly. Other results as well. Everton beating 2-0, winning 2-0 against Burnley as well. Yeah, and also
good result.
Good result for them as well. 0-0 between Bournemouth and Brentford. But there's a lot of scuffles at the end of the game as well, such as with certain Jordan Henderson getting involved.
Oh, I genuinely hate him. I genuinely hate Jordan Henderson. He's such a clown.
Oh, well.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Doug.
Oh, God. Z-Man.
Oh, typical. Yeah, I know. Our heads are back. Well, Reece is about his shake completely, yeah.
And the tumbleweed rolls past, Doug. Come on.
I know. Oh, right. Let's move on to the big game this weekend. Reece, we've got two huge games for you because of both your clubs in the derby game. Yes, I know. One, we'll start off with the Old Firm. What was going on for that two halves last weekend? You were 2-0 up halftime. You outplayed Celtic. Then the second half, they outplayed you.
I'll give you two words, Karl. John Beaton.
Yeah, I know. Bloody referee. Yeah, I knew it was going to be a bit of a.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think if people are gonna say the referees. I'm not for a change.
What?
You heard me.
Yeah. Can you see that again?
I'm not gonna blame the referee.
Wait a minute. You're not blaming John Beaton.
No.
Why?
Because the first half, the best player on the pitch was Yusuf Chermiti, and the best player in the second half was Rio Hatate.
Now, anybody that knows Reece on this podcast, that is not a typical Reece comment. That is why I'm in such shock that he's not blaming the referee for once.
I mean, it was a legitimate penalty. Because Dijon Sterling, I've got no bloody clue what he's doing.
Why did he play instead of James Tavernier, which I didn't get last weekend?
I think it's because defensively he's a lot better than Tavernier. But it was that costly. He was actually having a good game up until that point. Like, I don't know why he did that ridiculous save, like taking it in his own hands. I don't know why. Why not just you stick your chest there or go for your head, but he used his hand. And then, to be fair, the goal from Tierney, I mean, to be fair, is actually a really lovely headed finish.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to blame the referee at all. Like, Rangers in the second half were outplayed because the substitutions, bringing on Hatate, they changed the system, and they went from a 4-2-3-1 to a 4-3-3. They brought in two box-to-box midfielders with a lone hold midfielder. Celtic were completely changed in the second half. Rangers kept playing the same system. The changes were too late. They didn't change system until about the 75th minute. By that point, Celtic were already in complete control in the second half. So it was either a draw or somebody was going to nick a late winner. So like that for me all is, I'm not going to blame the referee. The first half, Rangers should have been 5-0 up. In the second half, it should have finished 6-2 to Celtic.
I'll give you that, but will be one man that is very happy on this podcast today. Karl.
It shouldn't be.
It should be, but Celtic bully beat Aberdeen on earlier this week. So
Game in hand.
Yeah, it was that game in hand.
Tell you one thing though, like we all said last week that the Old Firm League game was the decider for what's going to happen in the league. I think the real deciders tomorrow. The quarterfinal will really decide because knockout format.
Yeah, and I've like I said, Don Robinson is not the best referee for this one because in the past, because I remember his performance last year in January was a bit.
Yeah, that performance in the fucking League Cup final was shocking.
Yeah.
Yes,
but like I am really skeptical about tomorrow. Rangers should. I know it worked, but Rangers cannot go into a quarter final and play a 4-2-2-2. They need to play with that extra man in midfield.
Mm-hmm.
I think
absolutely, yeah.
Rangers will still nick it tomorrow. We were just chatting about this before you came on after the fixtures, and both me and Karl think Rangers are strong enough to nick it.
Should be, but I just don't know.
And if Chermity can score a goal like he did last week with that sumptuous overhead kick, your reaction in our little chat was hilarious. I could just actually imagine you jumping around when that goal went in.
It's the goal of the season for me.
Mm-hmm.
Across Europe. Like, I haven't seen a better goal across Europe than Chermiti's overhead kick, especially for how tall he is. And he's barely off the ground.
Well,
it's so clean. Such a clean finish.
Yeah.
I would say, but I've seen one better overhead kick than that this season. And simple for me. McDominay's.
Wasn't this season, it was last season.
Yeah.
Last season.
Well, all right. Last season then. To get us to the World Cup.
To be fair, that overhead kick got eclipsed by Ronaldo, 2 days later?
Yeah.
He's like, you stole my record. Hold my beer, exactly. But yeah, Chermiti's definitely proving his critics wrong, including myself, because I was very skeptical about spending £9 million on him. But he's been the SPFL sign of the season. Like I think he's generally been the best signing across Scotland.
Okay, if he's been the signing of the season, Reece, who's your second and third? Give us your top three. You've given us your top one. But who else falls into this bracket? And it wouldn't surprise me if the Rangers players, it can be Rangers players if you want, because I know Rangers squad's getting back up there now, but who else would you pick?
I agree with Doug, Malvanisi. And then, and then the third one, I'm going to have to say I'm not going to be overly biased to say another Rangers player, but there's some really good players. Rangers finally got a transfer window done properly. Both.
What about Scott Olsen?
No, as good a player as he is, struggling a little bit. I'm actually going to say I'm going to say Finlay at centre-back for Hearts.
Oh, Stuart Finlay.
I'm going to say that's my top three. Braga as well, yeah. It was between him. It was between him and Finlay for me, but I had to go for the defensive sort of it. But Braga's been excellent.
Yeah.
I don't think any Celtic signing's been good. Even though Tierney's done relatively well since coming back, I'm not going to include him.
No, I wouldn't as well.
Karl, what's yours? And then I'll be mine.
That's a good question. You put me on the spot there.
Well, I can give
Braga for me, Braga is like third best side. Second, so that's a tough one.
I think it's hard to leave Chermy out by any football.
I think for me, it's hard to leave Cherry out with that one. Yeah, I do agree with that one.
Unless you're a Celtic fan that purely hates Rangers, I don't think you can realistically not say Chermy. But the only reason why I haven't said any Celtic players is because their squad, they didn't really sign anybody.
Yeah.
Karl, question for you. Are you starting to believe now?
No.
I'm not believing yet. No, I'm not going to believe yet until
they can't. The problem with Hearts, they can't believe until they get past one team.
And it's Motherwell.
Yeah. The best
same thing with
defensive team in the
Celtic
league.
as well. Yeah, it's that Motherwell game. I always say I can't look beyond Motherwell at this moment.
I still can't fathom the fact.
Right. So we've got Braga for you.
What's crazy is with Motherwell and Hearts have both played 29 league games. Hearts have conceded 25 goals. Motherwell have conceded 18.
Yeah. Okay.
29 games and they've yet to concede 20 goals in the SPFL. It's fucking outrageous. Then Rangers are the second best defence in the league. Then it's Hearts. Then it's I think it's Celtic at that point. Then it's Hibs. Falkirk are on a +1 goal difference.
Yeah.
Well, do you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to agree with Doug. I'm going to say Manu Reece as well for at Motherwell. I would say as well the way he, being because he's because he's like the top goal scorer this season. And actually, from Motherwell's side, for really, and they've been playing some really good football because they've made some decent signings as well this as well. So.
I think the real bigger question is who is the real bigger signing? Is it Derek McInnes or is it Danny Roll?
Oh God,
that's a tough one. That is a good question. That is
because one's taking a club right to the top and the other is rejuvenated after an absolute scumbag got the job.
They're both on I think they're both on level par at this moment.
Yeah.
It's hard to, it's hard to choose which one. I think it's gonna be the one that wins. The ones who wins the
one who wins the league is going to get it simple.
Yeah,
it's still crazy how good both of them have managed their respective football teams.
So
you know what I mean? Like in elements, it's been crazy.
Yeah.
So my top three lads, this may shock you. Dragons in there.
Well, you said Neil Lennon back to Hibs, so I don't know if you can shock me anymore. Let's find out.
So Braga's in there. At number 3 for me. In fact, no, I'm going to move Braga to number 2. Reason being is I'm going to put Elijah Just from Motherwell in my top 3 because he's been a real good player for Motherwell this season.
Every one of like the top 3, everyone's favourite EFC free agent signings.
Yeah.
And I've not signed them for Hibs yet on EFC, but I might do. And then we've got Maruisi as well. So just Braga and Maruisi for me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's weird because I'm the only one that's not, out of the 3 of us, mentioned Yusuf Chermiti. And I think for manager of the season for me, I've got...
Wilfred Nonce.
No.
Yeah.
I've got 3 choices. It's between McInnes, Rowe, and Agu from Motherwell.
Asku from Motherwell. Yeah.
Asku, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Motherwell.
There's no way.
At that moment, those moves, I think they'd be the 3 best managers. But I could include John McGlynn in there for what he's done at Falkirk as well.
Oh, God, yeah. Because Falkirk are assumed for top 6.
They're going to catch Hibs.
Well, it's conceivably possible. And in the summer, bye-bye Boiler.
Oh, you finally getting new plumbing?
He's going to Australia, I believe. He's going
He's
to.
missed the joke, Karl.
I know.
I got the joke. I've heard that joke so many times it just goes over my head. So yeah, we are finally going to be getting a piece of new plumbing to our pipeline in the summer. Who it is, I don't know yet. But because Hibs don't have the same analytic stature as Hearts, Rangers, and God forbid Celtic, I dread to think who it's going to be.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think we can realistically say that Celtic have got good analytics because they hired a manager called Nancy.
Well, all right, fair point. But before they
And you can say
hire,
the same thing for West Brom as well, with the high Ramsey, Nancy, and Ramsey. Shows you how the MLS quality is being.
but I don't know who we're going to get into replace Boiler. Being totally honest,
Steve Clark
well, I get that he's old
to Leeds.
and he is past. I get that he's old and he is past his best, lads, but he has been a good servant over the 10 seasons, minus the season when he went to Saudi Arabia. If Boiler had gone to Saudi Arabia the next again season, he'd still be there now, playing with the likes of Ronaldo, Ivan Toney, people like that, but he went a season too early when he came back.
Yeah, Dundee United do have a chance, dude.
They
Yeah,
do. Yeah,
they
they
do.
do. They have
It's-
a chance.
The top six is going to be Rangers, Hearts, Motherwell, Celtic, Falkirk, Dundee United.
Yeah, that's why I see it at the moment. I think-
Aberdeen are not getting that top
No,
six.
Aberdeen's not getting that.
But
No.
they need to expand the league now. We need 4 more teams. We need 16
Well,
teams now.
I think no, he's right. Dundee can't get it because they're well behind.
I think they can still do it.
They're on 43, focus on 42.
It's relying on 9 defeats though. Eh?
Yeah,
Never mind then. Never mind.
I think that top six is going to stay the same
It'll be
as
just
it is before the split.
It'll just be positions, yeah. But we do need 4 more teams in the top flight. We need a 16 team league because they're not going to do 18, which is really annoying.
No, so this is what. Yeah,
I would love to see the same structure in Scotland as in England, but I know it's not conceivably possible due to money, budgets, all that kind of shit. But it would be nice. It would be nice to even.
I just want us to have a league of 16 to 18 teams. Actually, to be fair, if we have 18 teams, we could have a similar format to the Bundesliga in Serie A.
Speaking of this, Karl, when you thinking of getting your wee friend on to chat about this?
well, I am going to be.
Yeah.
I am going to bring this guest in, and I'm going to give him an email, probably a call later today, if he can come next week. He's a SWAT, but he's also a former SPFL scout, Joe Quinn, who was Monday night game. So I will hope to try to bring him next weekend because especially the Scottish Cup is on. I want to bring him next weekend when they bring back on. So I am going to give him some time to to join us next weekend to talk about that because I like to because he's released his phases, he's broken it down. So hopefully we'll get some more faces and come see, but we want to get what he believes in, and we can give him what we can think of the proposals that he's included.
Yeah. For me, I believe right now, every top flight league in the world should have 18 teams. We don't need 20. There shouldn't be a league of 12 teams, let's be real. But a league of 18 teams, everyone plays 34 matches. That means there's no 34 league matches, there's no excuse at that point, and no more splits.
Gal, is this proposal, and I'll ask Mr. Quinn this next week when he comes on, is this proposal just for the men's game, or is it for the women's game as well?
It's mainly for the men's game, mainly the men's game, absolutely. Yeah.
What? The thing
The
that
women's game,
annoys me
the
is
women's game isn't there yet
why do people overlook the women's game more?
because nobody, no disrespect to them, but not many people actually care about women's football. And why? And this is an honest question. Why should they? You look at it, and I know this is harsh because there's a lot of shit in men's football, but when you look at women's football, the amount of mistakes that's publicly clipped and recorded and uploaded everywhere, they get the worst of it. And that's not me saying women's football isn't good. I watch women's football. But what I'm saying is, in circumstance, is there's many people that just stick to their academy teams and they stick to their men's team, and then they'll watch other leagues. They just don't think women's football is interesting. They might watch the odd international tournament final, or they might watch a women's Champions League final or something like that. But it's not for everybody. Not many people are clamoring to go, "Oh, I want to watch this team." It's just unfortunately it is. There's more people that would watch League One in Scotland than top flight women's football.
And the only reason I'm saying that is because the SWPL is a 10-week table, which is shit. Because you play each other like about 3 or 4 times a season, so
It's another problem with Scotland because the old firm is overdone.
that's
You're
it.
big.
I mean the top bar Hibs winning the league last season, the top 3 teams have always been Glasgow City, Celtic and Rangers.
Michael, absolutely not. If you actually watch United's games, United actually, even though they're actually sitting third, United aren't playing well. Like, we're lucky. Nah, I don't want Carrick in the job. Nah.
I don't think Michael he's got the stamina and the fight for a 38 to 50 game season, however many games he is in charge as a proper manager. I think Carrick is more suited to a championship squad, like your Middlesbroughs, maybe your Hull Cities, someone like that. But Man United, nah.
No, I'm sorry, but like,
Because when you think to the history of Man United as well, Michael, we've had Sir Alex, we've had top managers right way through our being, apart from with a couple that hasn't worked. You know who family, but if we can get ourselves back to those days and we want to be serious in competitions, Carrick's not the man, buddy. I'm sorry. He's all right as interim, but no permanent.
yep. Exactly.
Aye.
I'm just not interested. Nope. I'm sticking to my list. I don't care about Carrick.
Your list is cool, and I think it's highly viable too.
Yeah, my list is just how it should be. Good managers, not crap in sight. But we were talking about there about the league? Yeah, like for me, there should be no top flight league of your country or whichever country you stay in. They should not be below 18 and they should be above 18 teams. And there should be no bloody splits. Like, that does nothing for you.
That's where the Premier League in England, even though it's 20 teams, Reece, that's where we've got it right. No splits.
Yeah, but
No splits at all.
Serie A, La Liga, the Bundesliga, they don't do it. Liga don't do a split, but like we do it. Norway does it. Sweden does it. And Belgium does it.
And even bloody Switzerland does it as well.
But Belgium's worse.
Yeah, Belgium's a lot worse. There's baffling.
when you finish your first half of your season, because they split into first phase and second phase.
Aye, like we do. Aye.
In Scotland, when you do your first phase, your points stay the same.
Aye.
In Belgium, they don't.
Eh?
After the
Explain.
first phase in Belgium, say you finish the first phase on like 90 points.
90.
As an example, second phase you come down to about 55 points.
Uh-huh.
They actually reduce your points
Yeah. It's
to
really-
then
Right.
redo the second phase. It's really weird.
That's shit, like, because after a split, potentially, whoever's in 7th place could have a higher points tally than whoever's in 6th place.
Mm-hmm.
And because they've split the league in two, the weird thing is, if that was
Yeah. So I've just sent a email out. So hopefully he'll get my response in the next couple of days.
nah, Michael, let's not get into that Super League discussion, pal.
No, bring up Michael's comment because I've got a fair answer to that because
Well, let Reece answer this one.
he's debating. So let's debate back.
Yeah.
More teams in the league leads to increase revenue. The Premier League, even with 18 teams, still generates more money than any league in football.
Yeah.
They don't need an extra 2 teams. The Bundesliga is already established on Sky and Zone and other leagues with 18 teams. Serie A, TNT, DAZN, their own YouTube stuff with 18. France, respectfully,
Through their own in-house channel.
yeah, but respectfully, F the French. Like La Liga's got Premier Sports. It's got DAZN. They have
All the highlights. All the highlights.
yeah, they've got another few things as well. 18 teams. The SPFL is 12 teams, and they just refuse to do all the matches. But the SPFL is getting Satana Sports back because Satana Sports had the Bundesliga on and Serie A. The AC Milan game was on Satana Sports.
Which is now exclusively Irish, right?
Yes, but it will be It will be becoming potentially more accessible back to the rest of the UK.
So you're saying this is going to happen? It's going to happen because it's been quite because it's not been much around the last.
It looks like it, yeah. But they had AC Milan on last weekend. But I'm like, go for it. Like now's the time.
I mean,
There needs to be exclusive channels like on TV for that in that way. But like, for me, like you can have increased revenue, but you don't need so many teams to have increased revenue. But SPFL does need more teams to be more competitive, especially for Europe. But like the likes of the bigger leagues, they can get the revenue because they're actually active in selling the media rights to get the TV deals. The SPFL just needs somebody who's not named Neil Doncaster to actually run the league properly and get a TV deal that's actually going to keep us on TV.
Well, I was going to say this. I don't know if you remember.
Because I would love to shoot him.
Back in 1998, probably when we were only high to grasshoppers, the SPL at the time well, it was just coming into existence.
Mm-hmm.
But for the top flight, they were going to bring in their own TV channel called SPL TV.
Yeah.
And everybody backed it by one club, and I can't remember who it was. It wasn't the old firm, it was somebody like a Dunfermline or something like that.
I think it was Aberdeen that rejected it.
Or maybe Aberdeen, somebody like that. So anybody, because one club didn't back it, at the 11th hour, the deal for SPL TV fell through. But do you guys think if this proposal goes through and the league gets restructured again, will the SFA look to bring in their own in-house TV service like Liga TV or something like that?
I think what you're misinterpreting what I'm saying in that way, Michael. I'm saying like in terms of like, the league, the Premier League clubs can already outspend anyway. All you're doing is you're just reducing 2 teams from the league. The same structure applies. You still have the same relegation, still have the same promotion. If anything, it means you can reduce the championship as well. The championship can come down from 24 teams.
24.
Yeah, to 22.
You can bring the championship down to 20.
Yeah, but we tried to do that years ago, and that's been years ago, and a lot of the EFL clubs were not happy with reducing the 20 from like the same with League 1, League 2, and then it just domino effect with the National League. We were bitching about it, and now because the National League wants 3 up this time, it's something's got to give. But
if you reduce it to 22, then it's the same thing. 2 teams apply. It means the league comes down from 46 games to 44, but it's still a lot. But even then, a league shouldn't be playing that many league games anyway. That's just ridiculous. And speaking of the championship,
yeah, we need to bring this up. Well, they are expanding now for next season.
Oh,
From 4 playoff teams to 6 playoff teams.
I'm sorry, but the fucking championship is rewarding failure. Pathetic.
But I know it's rewarding pathetic, but do you understand, because the teams that finished in 3rd and 4th place have been the teams that have gone up, while, for example, Sunderland, they had a poor run into the end of last season.
Yeah, but now potentially 8th place in the league can get promoted over 3rd place expense. That to me that's just embarrassing. Like,
what do you ever want to keep the status quo when it's, in a way, we've seen the teams like the parachute teams more than really, it was always been the parachute teams that have gone down, have gone back up with it,
Well, I know money talks, Michael, but it's like you can still generate more money even without increasing teams. It's actually been good at how sponsorship works. That's the difference. But like in terms of the championship, it's just so embarrassing in terms of like having to go to so many teams. But here's another thing. Maybe it's time that they just decide no more parachute payments.
Look, it's eventually going to happen. We know that for a fact. It's going to happen at some point if the bloody football regulator gets their shit together.
I mean, that one's going to happen because it's been on Sky Sports. When things hit Sky Sports, they tend to happen pretty quickly.
Well,
but getting back to the likes of our league, do you think if the structure was increased to say 16 teams or even 14 teams, that
maybe 8? For me, it has to be 16 to 18. I think you could easily get another 6 teams in the league.
That the SFA should look to bring in their own in-house TV service once again, so that the majority of the games, if not all of them, are broadcasted, and each team gets a fair crack at the whip with.
Oh, if it's their own in-house league, then at that point every single game should be available on that network. Every game.
Feel like a Sky Plus red button kind of.
I think what you should do, how I would do it, is you have the network, just call it Scottish Professional Football TV.
Yeah.
And then you go in that and it's organised by leagues. So you can, as if you're doing categories, so you've got the SPFL, then you've got SPFL Championship.
That would work.
And then when you get into that, then you've got, here's the league games from each category, and then you can watch, and then you've got a separate category for Scottish Cup, League Cup, and then that means it's no longer on Premier Sports. People can get their money back.
But Premier Sports owned by Michael O'Rourke anyway, because technically, because Michael O'Rourke, So they're just rebranding the name if it happens next season.
Yeah.
Yep. So
But that's what I would do. Like,
yeah, but did he try that with EA Sports in Ireland, and that didn't work out for him? And and there's only some type of sports in most parts of Europe and Asia now, and he doesn't even own anything like that.
EA Sports went kind of down the toilet.
Yeah.
They went bust.
But that's what I want to see, though, is like in elements. Is I want to see if you had your own in-house network. That means every football fan who has their own football club in Scotland can actually watch their team properly, even if they can't get to a game.
Yes.
It's right there.
Yes.
None of that 3 p.m. blackout crap.
I'm going to propose that to, even though it's about league structure that we're going to be talking about, it still affects the league. So I'm going to
propose my idea. I like it.
Propose that with Reece.
It does work. In terms of that, though, instead of here's the general point to what Michael's saying. The Premier League isn't obligated to give more money to the lower leagues.
No, it's
and
not.
I think Tom Wagner from Birmingham City, a couple of months ago, he said something. They should not be should not be relying on to Premier League pressure, and they should have a global rights deal, as he said a while back before he had his stroke. That's what he did, and I agree with him.
Yeah, because why should, all due respect, why should Premier League clubs care about helping the Championship when?
Yeah.
Yeah, when the Premier League and the EFL are two separate entities. I know in Germany and Serie A, they're all in the same umbrella. That's fine. But that's different because they, but us, we don't, for me, I would say maybe because of what happened with ITV Sport a couple of years ago when the EFL Championship, when the EFL signed up that deal and it screwed up their goals big time. The Premier League, the Premier League didn't need to help at that time, but since because the growth is there, it's like okay, because I don't know. I think the EFL need to look at their own selves, thinking, especially the reason why La Liga is still kept 20 teams and Serie A is because we don't have the extra competitions like we do with the League Cup, for example, and so the problem is you play,
Yeah, I know. And the fact is, Michael, that England and Scotland are structured very, very similar in the way we do their cup competitions. We've got the Scottish Cup, we've got the FA Cup, we've got the we've got the League Cup as well. We've got the
League Cup's slightly different. The League Cup's different because we've got a group phase.
Well, yeah, but I mean like in terms of competition. So we've got a League Cup.
In terms of competition, not like the structure, but the competition.
No, yeah. In terms of competition, they've got a League Cup, we've got a League Cup. They've got the Virtue Trophy. We've got what was the old Iron Brew Fish and Chip Shop Cup that nobody liked to win in the World Legends.
Even Rangers won it. That's surprising.
I know. At the third attempt.
And you could literally lift that trophy with one hand, Michael. Trust me, it's no heavy at all. It looks so lightweight. If you knocked over it, would smash.
Well, you say that. It must have been heavy because Hibs have never won it.
All I can reply to that one, Reece, is
Challenge Cup champions. You'll never sing that. It's not worth celebrating.
I'm just seeing here.
I was going to say we've not been in the third division over the last 10 to 12 years.
Challenge Cup was also for championship teams as well, dude. So don't start your nonsense.
I've seen that bloody Mansell having a good chance, feeling confident actually, because it's still 0-0 after 56 minutes.
Yep. City have equalised against Millwall.
Yeah.
It's Arsenal, right?
No, Mansfield.
Is it? Oh, well then they've definitely got a chance. Karl, Joe Goddard.
I know Reece just said that. I just see what Michael said. So I see what Michael said. It was Joffrey. I said Joffrey, you know. So, but Joe Goddard, I think he's not going to be Leeds player much longer. I don't think he'll be back in that squad. I think he's more. I think it holds suited more suited, and I think he needs more game time. You know. So, listen. I know you're smiling there, you two. So just let me just get that one out of the way.
You don't know why I'm smiling.
He's going to Leeds. He's going to Leeds. He's going to Leeds.
Shut up.
Clark is going to Leeds.
Oh, whatever. Shut your mouths.
What is it with stealing my power?
Whatever.
Your fucking pal reminds me, so be totally honest with you, pal.
Shut your mouth.
I've got a new one just for you.
Go on then.
This is an NQ64 coin, right?
I've got that. See, I've got loads of them here. Yeah.
So I've got a phrase just for you. It lands on tails.
Mm-hmm.
But Hibs always tuck theirs in and run when Hearts come to Easter Road. I mean, I thought I'd make it relative for a derby, so he's got no comeback.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't now. He's got no comeback. Just give up, Stephan. You got no comeback with that one.
I was a gaffer tape to seal my mouth shut.
Is that the same type of gaffer tape that hinders your attack and your defence?
I'll give you that, Reece. I'll give that one.
Oh my god.
We have been what do we strike this season, so I'll give that.
That's true. Do remind me, last time I saw you for the Hibs game,
Yes.
I did tell you that you wouldn't beat Hearts.
You did, yes.
What happened?
You also said it would be a classic rerun of what happened in October.
And what happened?
It was 1-0 in the 92nd minute.
I am a one of one.
Yeah, never see where you can do punditry very often.
I mean, I've got that later on, so I'm kind of screwed.
Yeah, you're screwed. Yeah, pretty much.
I've got 3 shows in one later on. Final
wrestling shows, right? No football.
Final 2K stream of final 2K25 stream of the year before I get 2K26 next week. So this is my final universe show for my promotion. And half 5 all the way through 2 TVs and a pay-per-view, and then that's it.
Well, at least you're not up like me tomorrow morning watching bloody Australian Grand Prix, because I can't believe I'm going to be trying to get up.
Yeah, that is on tomorrow.
You're going to get up for 2:30 in the morning, sir.
I'm usually watching fucking college basketball, US college sports anyway.
To be fair, I've got a double watch on tomorrow, so I can't really say anything. Like I can't say anything. I've got a double watch on tomorrow.
While I'm back on with you tomorrow night to do the championship review, that's fair. But I am set up to watch Formula One. Yes, I'm going to catch up on the highlights of, because I'm later on shortly to catch up.
See, I see that, but I'll probably lie in my bed and I'll probably watch it to be fair.
Listen, as long as I'm in out sleeping with my sleep mask on, that's fine. And I still technically I've watched it despite I'm dozing off. That's fine with me.
Yeah. Have we got many fixtures to discuss tomorrow?
Yeah, we do. It's quite a whole lot. I did say at the start of the channel, it's quite a whole lot. When I read quite at least 10 games.
Well, that's normal.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At least 9 games, including the game tomorrow between QPR and Middlesbrough. So we've got 9 games to discuss tomorrow.
See, I don't need to watch QPR Middlesbrough on the highlights because that'll be where we kick off.
No, it's half 4.
Is it?
Yeah.
After.
I've got to make a decision on that one. Do I watch Leeds and Norwich City or QPR Middlesbrough?
No, you watch Leeds, man, and watch the highlights of QPR.
Yeah, well, we'll do. That's probably the only way I will have to do it. So
I mean, I can see that game in the FA Cup for you being a very tight game. It's not going to be an easy game against the Fulham. Come on, Norwich.
listen. With Norwich, with Farke has got touchline bad tomorrow because he's not going to beat because not because after what happened against Man City.
I
And
wonder
yes,
why. I wonder why he got himself a touchline back for tomorrow.
because he was not because we didn't get
Arsenal
handball
scored.
against Man City. Yeah, because we didn't get handball against Man City at the late in the game.
Arsenal scored.
Manduke just scored, yeah. So in a way, he did go overblown, yeah. But I will say the statement from Leeds about when Leeds booed the Man City players, who are most of Man City players, was dreadful. And I think because they're happy, because Joe Peru, our own player, is Muslim, and he will have to be, he will have to have a break if he plays tomorrow. So there will be. I'm just like, why did no one not make the announcement properly? Yes, it showed it on the screen, but it wasn't told. It wasn't. Not everyone could see it.
Karl,
So
do you want to have some space to rant, my friend? Because it looks like you need the space to rant here.
yeah, I was not happy with how the fans, and I think Lee should have got that statement out straight away after the game, not a couple of days, not till just yesterday, the day before. That was a bit like, no, should have been dealt with properly.
Okay, here's one for you. So, clubs that have players take part in Ramadan, how do you think the clubs should respond to this time of year in terms of managing their players that have the belief to take part in Ramadan?
Fantastic. So pretty much the clubs got the club officers do know, especially when Ram comes up, they have to make sure with the fitness plan as well as the when they can make sure that they're doing okay with the health wise performance to make sure.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing what the club should do is, especially even before game where Ram comes up, all the clubs the club should announce that these are players that are Muslim and Ramadan and fasting. They're playing. You need to that they're gonna need to have a break so they can when the sun goes down, when the sunlight goes down. That should be handled better to be announced it before the match because so that everyone knows, and then not last minute, not just find it on the day and then like what Leeds fans did because they didn't realize that they thought thinking we don't have more players. They just thought Man City was just taking a break. Like, no.
So do you think it needs to be announced over the PA to fans before the game?
Even before the game. So even before the fixture kicks off, and also before kickoff as well. So that makes it to be one that that should be the standard procedure, but it's not.
Do you know? I actually agree with you. I think we need to implement something like that because we have seen it all too often. Players getting booed for their lack of performance during certain periods of the year, but now we know why. Because
the problem is you don't see that reaction in any across Europe, but here in England, in England, you don't see that reaction across Europe in Spain or France or Germany or Italy. You don't see it as much.
Would you say it's because it's managed better across Europe than it is in England?
Yeah, it is. But because of how politics come along and play, it's like we should, how politics come into play. They just think, oh, we're bound down to their beliefs and stuff.
Yeah.
No, so it's not that. It's more to do with
Exactly.
and that's the problem that the stereotype, the average football person, white English football person don't think about as much.
If we can bring up Michael's what his comment, he says There are breaks in football like water breaks, VR checks, injuries, minutes of pause. So do you think
Yes.
that if you're playing a night game and the sun goes down, there could be a break for a player to take on some
Just to
kind
break their
of
fast, to break their fast when the sun
yeah,
goes
like
down. Yeah,
to take on like an energy gel or yogurt
they
or
do that.
something.
They do that. Yeah.
But I reckon I agree with that. We should have a designated break when the sun goes down and when the floodlights come on properly. That could be the sign.
Well, it's only the
to-
sun that goes down, especially if it's Ramadan, because they have to when the sun does go down at that
Yeah,
time.
you
Yeah.
have to. Yeah, of course.
But because we still on the old TV slots, how the Premier League they can't adjust it. When the sun goes down, it's kicked off what the TV companies want to do. So it's inevitable with that one. So I just feel like like I said, when it happened a couple of seasons ago, when it was due COVID, everyone respected it because there's not fans there because everyone was respected it.
Yeah,
But now because the fans are back in, it's now becoming. It's like because how the politics of right-wing politics have now come to play. Yeah.
So surely that begs the question then. At the start of every season, when the PG, MLL, and TV companies and the leagues all have a big meeting on the Zoom call around the table or whatever, surely that begs the question to say, Ramadan's around the corner, clubs in this division have players that respect Ramadan and have to fast. So for night games, can we adjust the kickoff so that if it does fall when Ramadan's in place and the player has to break their fast, that we can take a couple of minutes break or a minute break in the game so that the player can take on a yogurt gel or an energy bar to break their fast and respect their religious beliefs.
Yeah. Well,
Surely it begs that question at the start of every season.
it should do, but I think the problem is because money talks in football, and again when it comes to like Saturday night kickoff and stuff and Super Sunday, it's a lot difficult, especially with it. We've guided with travel, with travel, especially the fans of this the kickoff a little bit late.
Of course, I get that, but you've also got to think about player performance, players' health.
Well, and this is why,
time.
Yeah, but this is why the clubs, when they know about it, they always adjust anyway because they always plan and prepare ahead. The clubs do quite well, a lot more well than they have done in a long time. Where they do have stuff like that with the nutritionists to make sure. Yeah. So
the clubs do, but at the end of the day, it comes down to like if your match is on telly or whatever, and you've got players playing during Ramadan, so this is where the league and the TV companies need to get together and bash out something where it's able to accommodate 99% of all parties. You're not going to be able to accommodate everybody. I totally get that. But surely when it comes to something as important as this, we need to all sit down and get around the table and butt heads to try and come up with a feasible way that it can be executed where players aren't getting booed because they have to break fast. So I know money talks and football, but surely in this day and age, in 2026-27 season, you can come up with something to accommodate this because it's shocking.
Well, here's the thing, because before that, I think for what I found, previously in previous cases, club captains alongside match officials will find a natural pause in the game, but because they've changed that, teams and matches discussed it before when the pause is required at appropriate time. the break will not be stopped for a team string and not a tactical suit. So the play. So what happened was with so when about former Abdullah Decore came out. Because he said fast every day. I don't miss any day. It become normal. He's free. Trey's still saying during Ramadan, but when we go for wage days, we might need to eat later. So the chef prepares food for us to make sure everything's in place. So that's how it is to be old to their training schedules for them. Yeah.
It just baffles me that all the big players in football can't look at something like this and say, well, we could do this, we could factor in this kickoff time, we could do that. It's frustrating. How well the clubs manage it for their individual players, the clubs manage it greatly, but the league infrastructure and the big wigs don't care about their shoe because they just care about revenue and money coming into the structure.
I get that. I get that as well, and I do, yeah. And it should be accommodated to to like start, but we don't want to be like what they do in the NFL, like the American sports, because they start at weird times, exactly like 36 minutes to like 8:36, 8:21 and stuff.
It's like a driving test. It's funny.
Yeah.
So I get that, and I think you're right. I think for us, because like I said, during Ramadan, the clubs always adjust the training schedules pretty much to make sure that the performance is still up on the beat, so while during the daylight hours and stuff, so yeah, so they always have adjusted that. And I think with how the clubs should do a bit more, especially with TV companies, do they need to change, do they, especially with how the Premier League does their TV slots, because it's set in stone. Could it even change, for example, right, if pick one is this, because like I said, they don't announce all the fixtures on the slot within for T rights because it's chosen every first couple of games or so. So it should be more managed in a way. If we're going to do more TV picks, in the long run, when it comes to Ramadan, so okay, right, we need to look at the clubs that might be playing. Do we move it at a later time just to make sure that should be in their consideration? But it's not all the time, because especially if it depends with the time zones across the world, like it should be more manageable, but it isn't.
Yeah. Should, but they just don't care.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's sad, but that's the reality of it.
Exactly, it's sad, yeah. Because like I say, because when the sun sets down between 5 and 7 p.m., it's only the games on the 5:30 and the 4:30 Sunday is affected.
Yeah. Which isn't great.
No, it's not great at all. It's not great at all. Michael, no, it will not apply to League One, League Twos as of yet. It will come in next season. They don't know what the format is going to be yet, but we do know what is going to be the format. It will be the third and fourth place teams will not play until the following week after and vice versa. But they want to see if it works in the championship as for next season. Then if it becomes successful, well, regardless or not, I think League One, League Two will bring it in as well too, because I think it's going to happen. But the problem is for teams like in League Two, it'll be more the top three teams go through. So what does that leave, like the fourth to seventh? At the moment, where it might have to be fourth and fifth, might not have to play. They're gonna have to discuss that at some point at the next EFL meeting after next summer coming up, before next summer comes up in 27. So yeah.
We'll see what they do, though.
We'll see what they do. I know the Premier League are not happy with it, but that's the Premier League's own point. I think the EFL clubs agreed, and I think the Leagues One, League Two clubs are kind of want to see how this goes, and I think they were voting for it. So we will see what's going to happen. So with that one, we will do as well. All right, gentlemen, we should finish the show actually. Before we go, big game tomorrow night, Reece Milan derby. How do you think that game's going to pan out between AC and Inter Milan?
Reece, I'll leave this one to you because you're a resident Italian expert.
In general, Milan's record against the top sides this season has been pretty much immaculate. I think realistically, Milan have got there's more pressure on AC Milan as well, like with the having to try and catch Juventus, like too many draws this season. But I think the favourite at the minute is probably Inter Milan. They are 10 points ahead, but if Milan can somehow turn this around, there is a chance with the season running. But I think it's going to be real. I think it's a 1 goal in it. I would prefer it to be the red and black, but I don't know. There's something about Inter Milan right now. They're playing really well in the league. I think it's going to go down the wire. I think it's going to be really, really close. But if Inter can get a 2-goal lead, they won't get caught.
Yeah, I think that's going to be, like I said, I think that's going to be the same thing scenario tomorrow evening as well. With I think Inter's going to be a little bit strong. I think, like saying, Inter, AC Milan's record at the moment across the top six, the big teams this season has not been good enough. So
yeah, anyone else bar the top sides, they've been shocking. The top sides, they've been fantastic.
Yeah,
best record in the league.
Yeah, they have been as well. Gentlemen, thank you very much as usual as well. And like I said, myself and Stephan will be on tomorrow night to do the championship review with Annie and Michael around tomorrow
8 p.m., right?
Yep, 8 p.m. We'll be back on tomorrow evening as we'll discuss, of course, all the 9 games as well over this weekend as well. Myself and Doug did the 20 podcasts earlier this week, so go have a listen to on both of our channels as well. And also, like I said, because there's no Premier League games this weekend, we'll be back on with the Saturday show next Saturday at 11:30. We should have Joe Quinn, the former FPFL scout, in this week to discuss what he's proposed on Scottish football, and we'll get that up on the screen as well. So keep your eye on that as well. But for any content, keep your eye on this channel. Please like and hit that subscribe channel. We are now only 5 away from 150, and hit Reece's weekly Steel Page. Only 1 more away from 500 on these.
I'm on 501 now, I think.
You're on 501 now. Good man.
I believe so. 2 seconds. Should still be. Yep, 501. And I've got a stream today, 5 o'clock all the way through. I've got my two advertised TVs for my gaming promotion. I do it on 2K25, and then that's my final pay-per-view show, which is on the same thing before 2K26 next week. So that's me. And then I've got a double watch-along show tomorrow. British Wrestling pay-per-views tomorrow. Rev Pro and Eve Pro Wrestling tomorrow. That's me.
Absolutely. And for you, Stephan, with your new channel on Wheelie FC, you did do some watch-alongs. You got anything coming up as well on your channel, including some EA FC as well coming up?
Yeah, I've got some of my EAFC career mode coming up this week. Episode 3 of my career as the Birmingham boss, so that's quite fun. So watch out for that.
Absolutely. Gentlemen, thank you very much as well. Thank you everyone for listening as well, for watching as well too. Like I said, we will see you guys at the same time next week at 11:30 as well. Have a good weekend. Take it for now. It's goodbye from us.
Bye.
Goodbye.